Welcome, everybody, to Straight Shoot, a wrestling podcast. I'm one half of your host, Santi. We're doing this live, by the way. So if you're listening to this recording, just know that there's pressure on us. There's a lot of people watching us right now. But today we're talking about the return of the GOAT, the return of the man that lives and breathes hustle, loyalty, and respect, John Cena. Steve, initial thoughts. We won't go into the promo yet. Initial thoughts on John Cena returning.
Honestly, I think it's the only thing they could have done with Austin Theory going into WrestleMania. And even though we could have brought someone up from NXT, pulled like one of the 5 guys going for the IC title and put him in a feud with Austin Theory, I think this is the only one that makes sense considering the promo. Right. If it wasn't for how good the promo was, and yes, I said something about John Cena positive. If it wasn't for how good the promo was, I wouldn't have understood the John Cena return and forcing it to be him. So first initial thoughts, I understand it now. That's where I'll leave it for now until we get more into the topic. What about you, Santi? Like originally when you heard the rumor of Cena returning to Boston, what was your initial like first thought on it?
So my initial first thought on it, because it was Boston, my initial first thought was, I hope this isn't a one-off to make the Boston crowd happy. Maybe he was just in town and it was just going to be a quick cheap pop appearance and then he's gone. My best case scenario is what we got, a build to a WrestleMania match. I really didn't care who it was with. I just wanted it to be a build with somebody, right? I think there's very few people where I would have been like, really, this is how we're going to use Cena. But I do think that they picked the right person. So my initial first thoughts were, I'm concerned that this is a one-off appearance. And now my thoughts coming out of it is that I am happy that it's not a one-off appearance, that this is going to be a proper build to, at this point, a very marquee match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I really believe that this is probably going to be night one, either opener or potentially even night one finisher. It's John Cena. Like, yeah. As much as I throw shade John Cena's way just because of how I grew up for the Attitude Era and my opinions on him, it's John Cena. He doesn't go mid card. Yeah. WrestleMania, he's not going to be match 3, match 4. He's going to be starting the show or he's going to be ending the show. So this is actually a lot more pressure on Austin Theory. And we can get into the promo in a second, but Austin Theory has to show up. And he has to be perfect, because of as much as shit that I give John Cena, he's still big match John.
100%. I think this main event's night one at this point. Like, we already have the precedent of the returning legend main eventing night one. We got it last year with Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens. And with the people that are around that are huge fans of the world of professional wrestling, there is more eyeballs on a John Cena return than there is a Stone Cold return. There is. The Stone Cold return gets people like the U's excited, but the U's now are a minority. Now the majority are the people who are in their mid-20s, late 20s, and they're the ones that are paying the big bucks to watch events like WrestleMania. And their childhood was John Cena, right? So this is a huge name to have back in the business. So I would not be surprised if this main events. The US title in itself is a main event title at this point. I want to take this moment to tell the whole fucking world, I told you so, when I told you that Austin Theory losing the Money in the Bank briefcase was going to be the best thing for his career. Go ahead, please. Everybody that's in the comments, live in the chat, I'm expecting your apologies, because all of you fucking ridiculed me when I told you that this was the case. Look at Austin Theory now, potentially in the biggest match of all of WrestleMania when it comes to star power. Austin Theory versus John Cena. I was right, and I will take my apologies in donations, bits, and subscribers. All right, that's how I'm going to take my apologies, because so many of you ridiculed me.
Jesus, you had to get a cheap plug in there for the Twitch channel before we could even get to the promo. My God, Santi, I was on the same boat with you. Like, when we started talking about this Money in the Bank run that Austin Theory had and the comedy of errors that were his cash-ins, SummerSlam, Clash at the Castle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It was just like, what is the point of him having this title? And then obviously trying to cash in for the US title and everything there. And now look at where he's at. He's changed his entire gimmick. He is arguably one of the up and coming heels in the business. Because don't get me wrong, as much as Cena put him to shame the other night with that promo, it was like, what was it, 2017 Roman Reigns or something like that is where
dude, this was worse. This was more brutal than 2017 Roman Reigns.
Exactly. But the thing was here, it left it all as reality to what Austin Theory has to do to become that marquee now. Because like I just said, Theory has to show up. The next promo he cuts by himself in the ring, he's going to have to put his big boy pants on because John's not going to be able there to cover him. The next couple of weeks, it's going to be KO last year carrying a feud into Mania like he had to do with Austin not being there. Now, Austin Theory is really going to show what he's made of now going into these next 2 to 3 weeks, because if Austin Theory cannot carry this feud by himself, then this match is pointless.
Yeah, honestly, I think John Cena's promo, there was especially when he said, dude, I didn't turn you down because I'm giving up. I turned you down because you're not ready. And we're going to find out if Austin Theory is ready, because like you said, he's got to carry this feud by himself, probably up until, if we're lucky, we get Cena for one more episode, maybe the go home episode of Raw, but before WrestleMania. If we're lucky, my money is on we don't see Cena until WrestleMania. That's where my money is at. So if the expectation is that Austin Theory has to carry this feud by himself, my man, like you said, put your big boy shoes on, put your big boy pants on, whatever big boy attire you've got, because now not only are you going to be carrying this feud by yourself, but this is your make or break feud of your entire career. This is your make or break feud of your entire career. You are not Kevin Owens. You are not Kevin Owens, where Kevin Owens was, here's the thing. Okay. So Kevin Owens was able to lean on comedy.
Yeah.
Because Stone Cold didn't come out and absolutely bury him. I don't think Austin Theory has comedy to lean on now. Comedy has been completely thrown out the window as a crutch for Austin Theory's promos moving forward. We're going to need to see a serious Austin Theory, an adult Austin Theory. And does he have it in him to be able to sell us this show by himself?
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Listen, if we're saying this is going to be the marquee match of night one in LA, they have to see something in him for him to be able to do this, because I don't see it.
I think it's Cena that sees it. I think it's Cena who handpicked this. Honestly, I think Cena can call a shot.
If Cena called his shot and he thinks his shot is Austin Theory with arguably what is more of Cena's prize possession, I think I can go down that road and say the U.S. title means more to Cena than virtually any other title he ever had.
Yeah.
Because it was what made him.
I agree.
And to anyone in the chat here, everyone knows, again, my opinion on Cena, but I still respect the work he was able to do coming in and building what was the U.S. title, which was not very well recognized back then. And Cena made it something incredible. Granted, it did fall by the wayside after a couple of years. Then now they've brought it back because Roman is holding both titles and they needed something that was more marquee. So this is important to Cena. So if he's handpicked Austin Theory, he clearly sees more than the average, obviously Mark 1% WWE fan like me and Santi and the others in the chats here. But what we're seeing now is the development of Austin Theory going from the selfie stick to this kind of badass that thinks he's everything. What's next for Austin Theory? Because if he's able to pull this off by himself without Cena having to hold his hand, I will tell you right now, in the next 6 months, Austin Theory will be in the world title picture for the work he's done. All right. i.e., what Sami Zayn did last year in that Jackass match. Santi, you were all about this, and you even said it right after Mania. You were like, Sami just proved himself, and he will be a marquee. You said it last year, and I will say it this year. If Theory can pull this off, once Roman drops the title, Theory is one of the top 3 in line for a title contention, either against Cody or whomever wins it.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think a lot of people are trying to find similarities between Stone Cold and KO versus this and John Cena, but I really don't see that many similarities. I told you last year during KO versus Stone Cold that, dude, KO could get squashed and he'd go over. It didn't matter what happened to KO. KO was going to go over, win or lose, squash, or even if he squashed Stone Cold, it didn't matter. He was going over. This match has to be good. If not in ring, then in-ring psychology and in-ring storytelling needs to be good, because John Cena can go a hell of a lot more than Stone Cold can, right? So, I mean, the age difference alone, right? We're talking about a man in his 40s versus a man who's darn near in his 60s in Stone Cold Steve Austin. So my expectation is that this match is going to get at least 15 minutes, if not more. But
if it's the main event, they're easily going 30. Easily.
And I mean, we'll see. I know that there's insurance at play with people like John Cena. I know he has insurance in play where, he might not be able to have matches longer than a certain amount of time, etc. Yeah. But okay, so we've talked about the WrestleMania feud. What could happen with Austin Theory? What Austin Theory needs to do, dude? That fucking promo. That fucking promo. Name me a better promo in the last 5 years.
John Cena, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's literally the only other one that's in contention to this one. My God.
Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes. Come on.
I don't think so. I still think this was better. I think this was leagues better in terms of because they went somewhere else, right? They went to like talking about family, and this was. They weren't insulting each other. This was John Cena humiliating an individual with facts. Facts, dude. No opinions. He was talking the truth. And yes, he shaped the truth and said it in a way that was hyperbolic, but it was all things at one point we were all thinking about Austin Theory in one way or another. And his delivery, dude, I felt secondhand embarrassment for Austin Theory out there.
Can I tell you what it felt like watching it for me? Like I watched it today. I watched it earlier in the day. When I watched this promo, it reminded me of a 90-day review at your new job. And you're not doing well at all. You know what I mean? It was like your boss bringing you in and be like, okay, we're going to do your 90-day review. And then shitting on you for a good 7 to 8 minutes and being like, but don't worry, there is a good part somewhere in here. There is a silver lining that I'm going to try and help you become a better version of yourself. But watching that, I was like, this reminded me obviously of 17 Roman and when Roman got really frustrated. But this one here felt more personal, even though it wasn't. It wasn't meant to be personal. It was just a straight up, simple, I don't see it. Mm-hmm. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, it was an analytical breakdown. Here's the thing, like the Roman Reigns feud. Look, how do I say this? The John Cena Roman Reigns promo. I think the reason it was so one-sided was because Roman was so bad, right? It's called a promo, kid. If you're going to be the top dog, you're going to need to learn how to cut one, right? That was Roman Reigns giving ammo to John Cena. Theory did nothing to give John Cena ammo. Theory tried to hold his own in that back and forth. Cena was just on another level, on an absolute other level that night. And like I said, just systematically breaking down Austin Theory's character over the last several years. It was like like pulling the veil back on the Wizard of Oz and realizing that he's just some loser, right?
Yeah.
It pained me to watch that. And my God, John Cena has not missed a beat with his promo work. So many people say, hustle, loyalty, respect. When Cena wants to cut a promo on you, he's one of the best of all time.
Just remember, John Cena was still the doctor of thugonomics for a reason. The man knows how to intellectually put words together to make you feel stupid. Another person that can do this is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes knows how to use his words. So does John Cena, because they are both very educated people as well. John Cena is extremely educated. But at the end of the day, when you know how to manipulate words in the fact that, you can just say something really polite, but everyone else knows it's a condescending shot, you have the room. And last night, John Cena had the room. Forget my reaction to him returning. I will still give always credit where credit is due in the professional aspect of the business. And John Cena is still one of the top on the mic of all time. Yes, this is on a recording, people. I just said it. He is still on the top on the mic as one of the best of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would get absolutely clowned out of this podcast if you said otherwise, because absolutely, I 100% agree. Dude, this feud went from this hypothetical thing that I thought I wanted to a thing that I cannot wait to see. And here's the thing, right? This is where what you said earlier comes into play. I'm beyond excited for this match, for the work that Cena put in this promo last night. We're not going to get Cena for 5 more weeks. So it's time for Theory to capitalize on this flame that Cena has sparked and turn it into a full-on forest fire right up until WrestleMania. It's on Theory now to carry this feud, and he couldn't have been given a better stage to knock it out of the park.
You've literally just got the tee, and now you just have to swing the bat and hit the home run. So let's just see if he's coordinated enough to do that, because at the end of the day, he drops the ball here. Oh my God, that is he's putting his whole career on the line with this next 3 to 4 weeks and building this, because if he can't do it, he's still young. What is he, 23?
No. I think he's like 25 now, but still, like at this point, yeah, like you said, like you are being given the biggest star that WWE has ever had under the WWE name, but after WWF. And you've been set up to potentially main event night 1. You were part of a history making promo that's going to be replayed for generations. Dude, time to bring it home, man.
I'm telling you right now, Santi, I don't think this line could be used any more perfectly. If anyone has been given the proverbial brass ring, Austin Theory was handed it last night. Now do something with it.
100%. Well, folks, thank you very much for listening to this episode of Straight Shoot, a wrestling podcast. Steve, where can people find you?
Guys, you can find me on twitch.tv/Mr. Tesh at 10,000 followers. As I said the other day, I am giving away an Xbox X Series. So come over to my Twitch channel, give us a follow. All you have to do is come and hang out. Santi, what about you?
First of all, it's called the Series X. Anyways, you can find me over on twitch.tv/SantiZap or over on TikTok at Mr. SantiZap. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Straight Shooter Wrestling Podcast. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave it a like, a comment, subscribe. Make sure to follow on all the podcast services that are around the globe, whatever you use. Thank you very much. And until the next episode, cheers.
Later, guys.
All right. Okay, I'll give you